Hello, Hofstra fans, and welcome to the W. Mason Coach Report with head men's basketball coach Joe Mihalich. Coach, 2 more wins on the road, no less. The record is now 19-3. Give us a quick recap of the week that was in Hofstra basketball.
Yeah, anytime you went on the road, it's an upset, and we knew, we were fully aware that going into this past weekend we hadn't had a lot of road games. We had the 5-2, right? We had 5 home games, and we're still catching up to balance it with the road games. And at JMU is the toughest trip we have. Everybody on this campus knows that the toughest trip you have here is that bus ride down to Harrisonburg. So we got that behind us, and we were able to play well enough to win down there, and then the 2 and 3 games, which 2 games in 3 days, which you know how I feel about that. But then Towson, 2 o'clock came pretty quick on Saturday afternoon, and with Towson, it's the physicality, it's the rebounding, it's the competitiveness, it's the and we were able to make some shots and stretch it out at the end and get a good win there.
Let's take the James Madison game. Your team was holding on to a decent lead in the first half, and then that end of the first half with Eli Pemberton hitting the near 90-foot shot.
The Harrisonburg heave.
Yes.
Somebody called it down there the Harrisonburg heave. Yeah.
How much? I mean, the lead was only 6. You were going to go into locker room with a 6-point lead, and suddenly it's 9. How much does something like that inflate the team that's leading and deflate the team that's down?
I feel like it's the latter more than the former. Because we've had it happen to us too. That like, oh man, he just made a half-court shot, or in this case, a full-court shot. It could be more deflating than inflating. I don't know. It's close though, because it's like a freebie. It's like you're getting 3 points you shouldn't get, and the other teams, it's like they're giving up 3 they shouldn't have to give up. So, but it helped, and every little bit helps, and gave us a little mojo into the second half.
And speaking of Eli, he's really been on an incredible roll right now. His last 4 games, averaging well over 20 points a game. What has changed in his game, and how much more dangerous does this make your team right now with him playing at such a high level?
I think if you asked Elijah Pemberton to criticize himself, to self-analyze, he'd say, you know what, I got to stop thinking so much, and that's what he's just playing now. He's really confident. He's letting his instincts take over instead of like thinking too much, as I just said, and consequently he's playing better. So, it's finally clicked for him that I don't need to think, I just need to play and play hard. And he made a hustle play against James Madison where he outworked a big post man down there. I think his name's Wilson, the big 260-pound kid. Tipped the ball. It was loose. He dove 15 feet away from the ball. Dove, gave up his body. The ball. He grabs the ball and gives it to somebody for a layup, and that's why we're winning, because people are making plays like that.
And then you went down to Towson, as you mentioned. Quick turnaround, 2 p.m. game on Saturday. You really kind of took control of this game real early in the contest, and it was just like a workmanlike effort. It appeared to me, really the guy who's been the unsung hero all season, and just put up an incredible stat line in that game. DeJour Bowie, 14 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, 6 steals. We've talked about him a little bit, but he doesn't get the praise from everybody else like Justin and Eli do. Just can you talk about what DeJour meant in that game, what he's meant for your team right now?
I texted him last night. I just texted UH because I knew he wouldn't know. So he texted me back. He said, "Coach, I'm not sure what you're talking about here." I said, "Unsung hero." And his text to me was, "Well, I got to change that." I said, "No, you don't. No, you don't. Let everybody worry about Justin and Elijah and talk about Justin and Elijah, and you keep being, one of our heroes. And whether it's sung or unsung, just keep being one of our heroes and playing the way you're playing." His stat line was incredible. Right? I think 14 points, tied for the leading rebounder with our team against that big physical team, Towson. 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 turnover, and 6 steals. He's the only guy on our team. I think he's top 20 or top 25 nationally in free throw percentage and steals.
Right.
And the biggest thing was the shot I think he made. We were starting to leak oil there a little bit. I mean, we had a good lead, and they made a couple in a row. You could feel the mojo turning a little bit. And right across from our bench, he hit that big wing 3 at the end of the shot clock. And as I said, we were starting to leak a little oil, and he took care of business.
You talked about the unique battles with Towson, that it's a physicality battle you have to match, that most teams in the CA don't have that same style of play. And you out-rebounded that team. How impressed were you with your guys in that game? And it was really, like you kind of said, like a team rebounding effort. DeJour, Eli, Shaquille as normal. How impressed were you with your team's response on the rebounding end?
Well, it was, as we said, everybody chipping in there. You just said that everybody rebounded, and that was the battle cry going in. we have to rebound the ball. We can't just say, hey, Jaquil and Danny, I hope you guys are going to get some rebounds tonight. It had to be De Jure chipping in there and getting 6, and Justin and Jalen and guys that you don't think of as rebounders, sneaking in there and picking up the loose change and helping us with the rebounds.
So we haven't mentioned yet in the show, you're now 19-3 overall, 9-0 in the CA. The win streak is the nation's longest win streak, has reached 16 games. Your weekly ask, what are your thoughts right now on this win streak? It's reached a point of just remarkable.
I guess I'm just going to say what I've always been saying. You got to have fun with this. It may never ever happen again. I mean, it doesn't happen much. You've been around here a lot longer than me. How many times has it happened where Hofstra's won this many games in a row? It's an incredible thing. We're enjoying it, but we know this. It could be over Saturday. It could have been over this past Saturday. I think the reason that we are having some success is because we know that winning and losing is the difference is so close, and we're playing hard. We know we can win, and the reason we win is because we know we can lose too. And if we don't come to play Saturday, the streak will be over.
And your team's obviously getting some national attention now, which is awesome for the university and the basketball program, the athletic department. Sunday night, your team appeared on a sports final with Bruce Beck. Just talk about what those types of experiences do for you, your program, and the university.
Well, the best part of this whole thing is what it's doing for the entire university. President Rabinowitz, starting with President Rabinowitz, what he does for this university, it's what sports does. It's what basketball can do for your school, and we can get in the media and do some things and let everybody know what a great university this is, academically, athletically, and everybody wins when the basketball team does a good job like this.
And the 3 of you were stars last night with Bruce, weren't you?
I don't know about myself, and I thought Justin was really good, but Elijah, boy, when the lights go on, he's in front of that camera. He's as good as anybody.
Coach, well, one game on the schedule this week. It's kind of like a rest and then one game. Northeastern, pretty big one on the schedule. Your thoughts heading into the second battle with Northeastern after the Hempstead heave a few weeks ago?
Well, we're still trying to prove. All we want to be is the best team for 3 days in March. Who's the best team in the league? Northeastern is one of them you talk about. When you think about the best teams in this league, Northeastern is one of the first teams you think about. You think about Charleston, you think about Northeastern. We're trying to get into the conversation. But, really good team, great coach, great balance, good at every position, terrific point guard, big guy in the middle. They're good at home. It's going to be as tough a game as any we've had all year long, and that includes at Marshall and at VCU and at Maryland.
Well, Coach, we wish you good luck this week and this Saturday. Saturday, 4:30 p.m. at Northeastern for Hofstra. One game this week. Good luck this week, Coach. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on W. Mason Coach Report with head men's basketball coach Joe Mihalich.